name's Evan, and today we'll be making green juice using our Nama cold press juicer Vitality 5800. What we'll need for the ingredients are 6 apples, 1 cucumber, 1 bunch of celery, half a pound of kale, 1/2 lemon, and a piece of ginger about 1.5 inches long. For storage, I'll be using a mason jar, and for mixing, a larger container with a wooden spoon. Alright, so let's get started. The first step we're going to want to do is wash all of our ingredients, if they're not already washed. Okay, so after we have everything washed, we're going to want to chop it to size to put it inside of the juicer. We can fit it through the top hole here or the side hole up there, either one. And I happen to buy my kale in a bag, in a 1 pound bag. It's already triple washed and pre-cut, but if you buy it whole, you can actually stick whole kale leaves in here for the most part as well. So either way works. Now for the celery, we're going to want to just chop it down. It sometimes will fit in whole, but the celery is very fibrous. There's these long strings that run through the whole piece of celery, and what I've noticed is they can get caught in the ejection port and kind of clog up the end of the juicer, which will cause stuff to not push through as well. So I like to give these a little chop, maybe cut them in about thirds or fourths. Let's do fourths today. Okay, that's done. The apples, I've shown this in other videos, but it's just my method of cutting apples because we want to remove the core and the seeds. We don't really want to run the seeds or the stem through the juicer. So what I do to cut apples is simply cut them in half, then cut on each side of the core. Then you can cut out the core. It's right there. You get all the seeds and stem in one with very little waste. We get most of the fruit to put in the juicer. Do that to both sides of the apple. And just repeat times 6, right? As you get more practice with this, it will be easier and quicker. If you have another method that you want to use to remove the core, feel free to do that as well. Some people have like a special tool or just their own methods, and we're all different, you know, so let's embrace that, our uniqueness, and let's roll with it, because whatever way is working for you is the right way. Now the ginger can go in whole. We don't need to peel it or anything. Just make sure you don't use a really dried up piece of ginger that's really hard. I did that one time and it went through and broke my strainer basket. Thank goodness for Nama and their amazing warranty. It was within 1 year of me purchasing it, and they actually replaced the item for free. Big props to Nama and their customer support. Y'all have been great. Thank you so much. And this is not a sponsored video, by the way. So the cucumber will not fit in, obviously. We're going to need to cut that down to size. I like to give it into halves and then quarters. That should make it work. Pretty much like pickle spears. Ooh. All right. And the lemon, we'll need to cut that down a little bit. Okay, so with citrus, you can remove the peel, or you can leave it on. There is nutrients in the peels and rinds of fruits. So if you leave it on, it makes the juice a little bit more bitter. If you take it off, it'll make it a little more sweet. So like for orange juice, if you're making just a pure orange juice, you might want to take the rinds off, because the orange juice is kind of a sweet juice and you don't want to make it more sour. For the purposes of the green juice, I do leave it on. We have the ginger and the lemon, which control the flavor. The apples offset the bitterness of the kale, because we got sweet in the apple, we got bitter in the kale, so that actually offsets it. You do have a refreshing like aftertaste of celery sometimes, and that's very cleansing to our system. So I'll go ahead and leave my rind of the lemon on and just quarter the half of the lemon that I have here. And now we are ready to juice. So another tip is the kale is messy and it's also the driest ingredient. So I never start with the kale. I always want to start with the lemon when making this juice. And the reason for that is the lemon will get in there in the strainer basket with the high acid level and the citrusness of it and just the flavor. This flavor is very strong. So it'll be in there coating it while everything else is pushing through there. So we get the full effect of the lemon rather than putting in the lemon last and maybe it not fully juicing. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and turn our juicer to the on position by flipping the switch up. And let's begin. Lemon first. Then we'll give it a little, I like to rotate between like dry and juicy ingredients and fibrous and not as fibrous ingredients like the celery. You don't want to just load all the celery through at once, you're more likely to get a clog. So I'll put in like a cucumber and then some apples. I kind of just rotate through the different fruits. Alright. After I get a couple of things in, I do throw in the ginger. Same concept as the lemon. We want to give it time to fully process the flavor into the rest of the juice. Feel free to generously load your juicer. However, when you notice that the fruits and or vegetables are starting to slow down, but your waste is still moving out, you might want to give it a second to catch up. Because it's kind of just like our system, you know, with eating. We don't want things shoved down our throat. We need time to chew. The juicer also may need time to masticate. Every once in a while it does need a gentle push. I like to let gravity do most of the work. And not like really force things down in there unless it's stuck. And then sometimes you kind of have to. But as you can see, that pretty easily went through. We will keep an eye on our reservoir because when it's full, we'll need to drain it into the lower part here. All right, we're at our first plug hole. Let me go ahead and get a close-up on this. It's one of my favorite parts. Now, if you want less pulp, you see that little tab in there? You can make it so it's blocking a lot of the pulp from coming through. Or if you're not too concerned about pulp, you can just open it all the way. Yeah, it's a great start. Look at that. Okay. Okay, so about halfway through is when I like to load my kale. Since I have my kale all in pieces, it's very messy and I don't want it to spill into the fresh juice I just pressed. So what I'll actually do is I'll go ahead and move this aside while I load the kale all at once. Let me just make sure this thing's recording. Yeah, one time I recorded a whole video and realized the phone wasn't recording. So, alright. Let's go ahead and load the kale. If you have whole pieces, like I said, just stick it in there. For these small pieces, I've developed a method where I push it in the side, and with a combination of that and plunging it, it's kind of efficient for me. Try to spend the least amount of time possible making the juice so I can spend more time drinking it and doing other things. I'll also throw like an apple in there every once in a while, just to make sure there's a little bit of juiciness in there, because the kale is pretty dry. Our reservoir is pretty full now, so let's go ahead and empty that one more time. Now that's what's going to give us our dark green color and also a whole bunch of vitamins. Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, let's finish up with the rest of the ingredients. What I've noticed, excuse me, whoa. What I've noticed when making my green juice is I usually make more than this can hold with this recipe. So here we have another container we can dump this into while we make more juice. We'll go ahead and use a spoon to mix that later. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and leave this tab open so that way it can drain and get all the rest of the juice out of there. Keep an eye on the injection port at this point, so when that's done pushing out the waste, we can check to see if there's anything stuck in the machine to the best of our ability by running it in reverse. Okay, so you just hold the button down in the down position to reverse it. You'll notice the plunger will come back up if there's fruit that's stuck in there, pushing it back up. Or you can also have a little look. Looks pretty clear. Alright. So, everything seemed to have run through there. Combine the juices. Woo! Yeah. Alright. Just in case the ingredients aren't fully mixed, we'll go ahead and give it a little stir here. Alright, time to fill up our mason jar for storage, because I'm not going to drink all this right now. And usually we get one mason jar and one test size. Ooh, this one's really close. Alright, fine. Oh yeah, it came out good again. The flavor and consistency will vary, like from juice to juice, more or less. Even when using the same ingredients, you know, you're going to get different size apples, different qualities of fruits and vegetables. But overall, it comes out pretty similar, which is tasty and delicious and healthy. So, ooh, that's so full. Thank you for watching this. This is distracting. I don't want to spill. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. And happy juicing out there. Cheers.